This is Plant-Based Briefing. Want to keep your brain sharp? New research suggests a helpful food swap by Lindsay Morris at forksoverknives.com. And I'm Marian Erickson. This is the Plant-Based Podcast, where I curate a variety of articles on plant-based and vegan living and narrate them to you here in about 10 minutes or less every weekday with permission. And I'm pleased to have permission from Forks Over Knives to share their amazing content. Their website is a great resource for pretty much anything whole food plant-based. And if you haven't seen the documentary, or even if it's been a while, I recommend watching the documentary for free, Forks Over Knives, and you can find it on their website or just search it on YouTube. And now let's get to today's plant-based briefing. Want to keep your brain sharp? New research suggests a helpful food swap by Lindsay Morris at forksoverknives.com. Swapping bacon for beans might benefit your brain. A new Harvard study suggests replacing just one daily serving of processed meat with nuts or beans is linked to a 19% lower risk of dementia. Published in the journal Neurology, linked here, the study followed more than 133,000 adults over several decades. All were free of dementia at the start. Researchers tracked their diets using detailed questionnaires given every 2 to 4 years and monitored changes in their cognitive health over time. After adjusting for age, sex, and other risk factors, they found that people who ate more red meat, especially processed varieties like bacon, sausage, and deli meats, were more likely to experience cognitive decline and develop dementia. Just a quarter serving of processed meat a day, about 2 slices of bacon, was linked to a 13% higher risk of dementia and a 14% higher risk of cognitive decline later in life. People who ate the most processed meat also showed faster declines in thinking and memory, with an extra 1.6 years of cognitive aging. These rates took into account factors including socioeconomic status and a family history of dementia. Unprocessed meats weren't off the hook either. Eating a full serving of steak, lamb, or other unprocessed meat each day was associated with a 16% higher risk of subjective cognitive decline, the perception of one's own memory worsening. The good news? Swapping nutrient-rich nuts and legumes for one daily serving of processed red meats was associated not only with a 19% lower risk of dementia, but also with a 21% lower risk of subjective cognitive decline and a slower rate of cognitive aging. Why red meat may harm brain health. Several biological factors may explain the connections. Previous research, linked here, demonstrates that consuming red meat boosts the body's concentration of TMAO, a harmful compound produced by gut bacteria. Elevated TMAO levels appear to increase neuroinflammation and damage the blood-brain barrier, potentially contributing to cognitive impairment. Additionally, studies have linked meat-heavy diets with cardiovascular diseases. These conditions may contribute to an increased risk of cognitive decline and dementia by reducing blood flow to the brain, changing brain structure, triggering inflammation, and promoting the buildup of harmful proteins. Dietary guidelines tend to focus on reducing risks of chronic conditions like heart disease and diabetes, while cognitive health is less frequently discussed, despite being linked to these diseases, says corresponding author Daniel Wang, MD, SCD of the Channing Division of Network Medicine at Brigham and Women's Hospital, a founding member of the Mass General Brigham healthcare system. Wang says he hopes that the results will encourage greater consideration of the connection between diet and brain health. The bottom line. The Harvard study doesn't prove that red and processed meat cause dementia. Other lifestyle factors may have played a role, and the study's population was unique in that all participants were healthcare professionals. However, the new research adds to the growing evidence that what we eat plays a big role in how our brains age, and that a plant-forward diet may offer protection against cognitive decline. You just listened to Want to Keep Your Brain Sharp? New research suggests a helpful food swap by Lindsay Morris at forksoverknives.com, and I'm your host, Marian Erickson. Tune in tomorrow for another episode about brain health, and specifically a recent study about creatine, brain health, and Alzheimer's. So check that out, and I've done a number of other episodes on cognitive decline, Alzheimer's, dementia. Wherever you listen, you can use those terms in the search field, and I will link some in the show notes, including 926 and 927, 50 Brain Health Facts by Drs. Aisha and Dean Sherzai at thebraindocs.com. 817, Can Alzheimer's Disease Be Reversed with a Plant-Based Diet by Dr. Michael Greger at Nutrition Facts. 752 and 753, Healthy Fats for the Brain, Myths, Science, and Diets by Drs. Dean and Aisha Sherzai. 941 and 42, Can You Boost Your Brain Power with Plant-Based Nutrition? $8.30, a testimonial from Dr. Ornish's Alzheimer's Progression Reversal Study. $4.49, the best diet for healthy aging. $4.48, advanced glycation end products, or AGEs, and cognitive decline. And $2.77, preventing Alzheimer's disease with diet. So please share this episode with anyone who might benefit, and thanks for listening.